Hi, I'm Mark from the Gently Grown Homestead, and welcome to our second official vlog. I will let you know what's been going on here over the last few weeks, coming right up. Alright, so we have been very busy over the last few weeks, and you're about to see what we've been doing. It's been hard to get a video going for that reason. One of the major updates is right behind me. Actually, maybe even two of the major updates. It's the crops that are planted and the sprinklers, the irrigation that is in right now. We have right now, was it 6 rows? I think 6 rows. Over here were the first rows that I seeded, besides the Ruth Stout rows, which we planted potato seeds in. But it was, I will say, it was monumentous to get a 50-foot bed seeded with radish, carrots, salad mix, some other things. It was a big moment, and we didn't just stop there. Again, we have 8 rows. Keep forgetting. 8 rows now, direct seed planted. We have some transplants ready to go in now that we think we might be past our last frost date for sure. I was waiting until the middle of May. Last year in the middle of May, if any of you remember, we had a light or even heavy frost. I believe a little bit of snow came down and ruined a bunch of crops. Anything that was planted early, like at the beginning of May or end of April, where most years it should be safe. I wanted to be extra sure that we would pass those frost dates before I transplanted anything like the tomatoes or peppers that would be heavily damaged if snow fell on them. So also the irrigation right now, this is more temporary. There are 3 sprinklers that will cover these 8 beds evenly in 2 different, I had to put 2 different zones on it. I have enough water pressure to do 1 zone, but the way I had to hook it up was 1 zone. We just got the new irrigation in, so I can do drip lines for a lot of this stuff, although some of it will still need sprinklers or wobblers, some kind of overhead irrigation to keep it cool during hot days like this weekend. And that salad mix that is in the ground, the crops are going to need some way to cool down. Also, in back of me, the potatoes are starting to spread out of the wood chips. So let me get a close-up on that. So if you can see, there it is. You can see that is a potato sprout or plant popping out of the wood chips. There is, where is it on the camera? There it is. I can see it. I can see it in front of me. Just having to get it on the camera. There is another one, and going down the row, we can find many others. I've been careful as I can be with the irrigation to not overwater these, because with the wood chips, the Ruth Stout method, one of the risks of potatoes specifically is they can rot if there's too much irrigation or just rainfall, any kind of precipitation from the sky. So these are getting a little wet. You can see there's another sprout as I'm looking through. That is out of the same plant for sure. 1, 2, 3. Oh, right in a row. Look at that. 1, 2, and 3. So these are doing great. They are getting more moisture than I would have liked. What I'm going to do now that God bless you. Now that I just got the permanent irrigation, the drip line materials in, I'm going to set up this first row that's right by the wood chips with a drip line, even though right now it's radish, which doesn't really need drip, but it will save water nonetheless. And I can move over the sprinklers. These are just sprinklers from Home Depot I got before I could get the big irrigation order in and delivered. I can move these over a row because if you look, oh well, that wind just blew right over the wood chips. Yeah, when the wind blows, the sprinklers cover a different area, but in general, if I can move these over a row, the little bit of spray that it's getting, because I have it aimed so the direct stream goes right down the row in order to cover down here the radishes growing. But there's extra spray. That ends up wetting specifically right next to the sprinkler, but even a little far down. And right now the other sprinkler going off is with a little bit of help from the wind reaching the wood chips too. So if I can move these over just one row and do drip line down here, which is just, if you don't know, it's tubes you lay on the ground and they slowly drip water as opposed to overhead irrigation like this that sprays it out. So it's much more controlled. It actually saves water. It uses much less water than this. And in this case, it will help me to make sure that the potatoes do not rot out underneath these wood chips. And these are several potato plants. What were these? I think they were the fingerling potatoes. All of them sprouted up. Looks like they are doing the best right now. I definitely want to get that drip line in the bed next to it as soon as possible so I don't end up rotting all these potatoes and having it go to waste. The garlic is doing well. I should probably add some more mulch. That is what keeps the weeds down, what keeps moisture in, and what slowly breaks down to feed the plants as well. And I haven't mulched this since I think I added a layer in the middle of the winter because it was looking a little low. It's looking a little low to me again. Oh, here's an update since the last vlog at least. We got a bigger playset, or a playset in this property for the kids as part of the hashtag free range kids movement initiative plan, whatever you want to call it. We got this nice slide that Ava's going to show us how to go down on. 1, 2, 3, whee! So one thing I was able to pick up that has been great is this 4-port Beehive orbit timer. So I can control this from my phone. I can set rain delays for 12 to 48 hours. I can manually water with a couple clicks. I can stop a watering cycle from happening, or I can schedule programs with this. So right now there are 3 times a day where the water comes on. These last 3 rows really are looking good. The first few did not have the tarp on them. There's heavy weed pressure. I expected that. I still have a plan to get rid of some of those, and unfortunately some weeds have grown in on the plot over here that we haven't planted on yet. I wanted to put the tarp back on it, but it was too big to move by myself. Even with one other person, it just wouldn't budge. I will get that tarp out some way, somehow. So this is one of the biggest updates. I have the chicken coop. It took a solid 2 weeks with my very generous neighbor, generous with his time, effort, tools. He came out here and helped me almost every day for 2 weeks. And truthfully, it's not even done. It's just done enough to put the chickens in. I still need to finish the wood to make sure it doesn't rot. I have a non-toxic, zero VOC finish to put on it that will protect it from the elements, which I need in my climate. We get a lot of rain, a lot of snow, a lot of seasons. I did add, if you can see, galvanized steel roofing, which will be perfect, ideal for rain collection, but I have none set up yet. Just thinking down the line, I can do that when I have an afternoon at some point, I don't know, maybe even in the fall, but it is there. So I can set up a automatic rainwater collection, whether it's now or a month from now or even a year from now. Here's another temporary kind of fix or solution here. I ordered an automatic door, but it did not get here before the coop was done and the chickens needed to go in. So I cut out a hole. Oh, you can hear the chickens. Hello. Who's that? So I just cut out a hole. I added one hinge just in case I needed to open it, although I haven't had to do that. I boarded it up with just some extra plywood, so nothing could, no bobcat or anything could too easily get in here, and the chickens would be safe. This is a very secure coop. We have a lot of predators too, though, and I'm used to this singing all day. I hope it's not too distracting for you. I'm used to it by now. It's just white noise for me. Anyway, I'll do a full tour of the coop maybe in a different video. I will, here, let's see the chickens. They think I have treats for them. I didn't bring any treats. I'm so sorry. I just wanted to show everyone what you look like now, how big you all got. And that's Lemler. That is our crossbeak, very severely crossbeak. That's why I come out here 3 times a day with a bowl of food, even though they have the big feeder, because Lemler needs mush to get any kind of food into her mouth. And oh, they are all right here, huh? Hello. We got the white and black one there is Winnie. Lemler is the severe crossbeak. This Lemon, I think this is Lemon right here in front of me. Jean. Let's see, who else? We got Henrietta back there. We had automatic water there too. A no-spill water. And it's almost time. I should have came out with the mush for Lemler. I think they're all waiting for some treats. All right, I'm gonna close the door. So a couple quick things. I got a lemon tree from the neighbors that was not doing well for them. The top though, what they had it in was completely deadpanned. You couldn't dig down. I took a trowel, I started just poking at it. I actually repotted it with new soil, nutrients. I mulched it on top, and it looked like there might have been fungus gnats at the roots. So I gave it a hydrogen peroxide soak real quick before potting it back up. I actually just ended up being 2 of my 4 blueberry bushes. I'm hoping the other 2 arrive today. I just planted these with my helper earlier. The only difference, I did a post on this. I planted all the other fruit basically the same way. God bless you. But these, because they need acidic soil, very acidic soil, instead of potting soil, I added, it's almost half peat moss, and then a couple small shovels of compost, which is also slightly acidic, and the mulch on top. These are pine bark nuggets, safe for organic growing. All of this is, as far as I know. But all of this together will hopefully keep the pH low enough where the blueberries can thrive. Same for the blackberries over here. We have 3 blackberry bushes, and I just planted these a few days ago. There's already new growth, if you can see that. Already new growth. So we planted these the same as the blueberries. These are pine bark nuggets on top, although I got these after I planted them, so there are some regular wood chips underneath. Not worried about it. Just trying to keep the pH low enough so these can thrive and fruit well for us. Row of 10 raspberry plants. They're spaced 5 feet apart. They grow very rapidly though. So these 10 plants together will easily make a hedge if I let it. And honestly, it would take over this entire patch if I let it too. Right in back of me, is 3 grapevines that I planted. These were all bare root that came in the same order. I've been planting these as quickly as I can because they're bare root. You want to get them in the ground fast. I have to turn the camera around for a minute because we have 2 gooseberries and 2 currants, and they are starting to get new growth already as well. It's hard to see, I know in the video, like this one, new growth or recovered very nicely. No transplant shock or anything, which is nice, but it is, there it is. It is already growing very well for us. We're very thankful for that. And keeping the camera this way for a minute, one of the elderberry bushes survived, which is fine. I didn't mulch properly is what I think happened, and I planted them at a not ideal time. So keeping one out of the 2 is perfectly fine with me. These shoot up new canes like this every year. This one is, you can see, growing very well. The other one, there's been nothing that's popped up, so I am about ready to give up on that. So the apple tree is thriving right now, which is great. And we started planting a bunch of different plants for the Fruit Tree Guild. We have, I'll show you in a second. Here we have some spearmint. We have actually a strawberry patch itself over here that I planted yesterday or the day before. And I'm already seeing new growth, which is very good. Here, I hacksawed off the old hose that I left on over the winter. Just got caught in a bunch of stuff. And added the 4-way splitter directly to the spout. Right now we have 1 hose coming off this into the Beehive timer. I'm going to use another one of these to go to the front because right now there's no manual irrigation there. We rely on rainfall and mulch and occasional hand watering if we need to. All right, this will be near impossible to see. I'll get a close up in a second, but this is the strawberry patch by the mulberry trees, which serves many purposes in the Fruit Tree Guild. I'll talk about that in a different video. Let me show you the new growth.
This is strawberry.
You're gonna point it out for us? Yes, strawberry. We just planted these a couple days ago with most of the fruit. All the fruit has been planted in the last week. We're getting some nice growth, nice new growth. Planted these about the same way as most anything gets planted. We added some organic kelp meal, azomite, and compost, and then mulch on top. The Fruit Tree Guild is going to rely on mulch. We will inoculate all the wood chips with mushroom spawn once I put that order in, but it is not. Oh, here's some more new growth over here. Everything's popping up. And over there. Anyway, we will be able to get mushrooms out of the mulch as well, which helps feed the plants. Strawberries. Yes. I'm pointing out the strawberries, everybody. This is one that is not. Oh wait, there it is. There's a little bit of new growth on that crown. It'll be fine, I'm sure. That wraps up our second vlog on what's going on here at the farm homestead. Thank you for watching. Please make sure you like and subscribe so you don't miss any new videos from the Gently Grown Homestead. Be well and grow.